Mastercard pays $1.8 billion for BVNK as card networks race to own stablecoin rails. 3 years ago, the pitch was simple. Crypto would make Visa and Mastercard obsolete. Stablecoins would move money peer-to-peer, cutting out the middlemen who skimmed 2 to 3% on every swipe. The middlemen had other plans. Mastercard announced it will pay up to $1.8 billion to acquire BVNK, a stablecoin infrastructure firm that connects blockchain payments with traditional banking rails. The deal breaks down to $1.5 billion upfront plus $300 million in contingent payments. Visa, meanwhile, has scaled its stablecoin settlement volume to a $4.5 billion annualized run rate as of January 2026, and is expanding stablecoin-linked cards from 18 countries to over 100 by year-end. The card networks are not fighting crypto. They are absorbing it. What BVNK actually does. BVNK is not a consumer-facing product. It is plumbing. The company builds the pipes that let stablecoins flow between wallets, bank accounts, and payment terminals without the sender or receiver needing to know that a blockchain was involved. For Mastercard, this means remittances, payouts, P2P transfers, and B2B payments can all run on stablecoin rails while settling through Mastercard's existing network. The company cited $350 billion in digital currency payment volume during 2025 as the market it is chasing. McKinsey and Artemis peg stablecoin payments at roughly $390 billion annualized, though that still represents approximately 0.02% of global payments. The gap between 0.02% and meaningful market share is where the money is. Standard Chartered estimates $500 billion in deposits could migrate from U.S. banks to stablecoins by 2028. Mastercard is positioning itself as the toll booth on that highway. Visa's parallel Bet Visa is running the same playbook through different channels. Its stablecoin settlement program, which lets acquirers settle in USDC instead of fiat, hit a $4.5 billion annualized run rate in January 2026. That is real volume, not pilot numbers. The card side is moving faster. Visa's stablecoin-linked cards went live in 18 countries and are targeting 100 plus by the end of 2026. Stripe's Bridge, which Visa acquired Stripe-adjacent exposure to through its partnership network, received a conditional National Trust Bank charter from the OCC in February 2026. Stripe bought Bridge for $1.1 billion in 2024, and that deal now looks cheap next to Mastercard's $1.8 billion for BVNK. For crypto card users, this is where the infrastructure meets daily spending. The stablecoin sitting in your wallet needs to convert to local currency at a merchant terminal. Visa and Mastercard are building the conversion layer so that process is instant, cheap, and invisible. Every stablecoin card issuer on the market today relies on one of these two networks to actually process the transaction. The irony problem. The original crypto thesis was disintermediation. Cut out Visa's 1.5–2.5% interchange. Cut out Mastercard's network fees. Let USDC go straight from buyer to seller. In practice, that did not happen at merchant scale. Consumers want tap-to-pay convenience. Merchants want guaranteed settlement in local currency. Regulators want KYC and transaction monitoring. All of those requirements funnel back through the card networks. So instead of replacing Visa and Mastercard, crypto built the infrastructure those networks needed to modernize. BVNK, Bridge, and dozens of smaller stablecoin firms created the connective tissue between on-chain assets and off-chain commerce. Now the card networks are buying that tissue. The Genius Act, signed in July 2025, created the federal framework that made these acquisitions practical. With clear rules for stablecoin issuance and custody, Mastercard and Visa can integrate blockchain settlement without regulatory ambiguity. The legislation turned stablecoin infrastructure from a regulatory liability into an acquirable asset. What this means for card issuers. The 85-plus companies in Mastercard's new crypto partner program just got a clearer picture of where the network is heading. BVNK will power the stablecoin settlement layer that those partners build on top of. For issuers like Crypto.com, Binance, and MetaMask, this should reduce the friction and cost of stablecoin to fiat conversion at the point of sale. When the network itself handles the blockchain to Rails bridge, issuers can focus on the wallet experience and rewards rather than building settlement infrastructure from scratch. The competitive question is whether this consolidation helps or hurts smaller crypto card issuers. A standardized settlement layer could lower barriers to entry, but it also means every issuer is now dependent on Mastercard or Visa's stablecoin stack, which is exactly the dependency crypto was supposed to eliminate.